Sackville, Eastern Shore.
No, Mr. Speaker, those kinds of comments also make you reverse your lunch when you hear stuff like that. Because that was this government and this Prime Minister that forced 7,500 disabled heroes and their families through the courts when they were advised repeatedly in 06 and 07 to stop the legal proceedings because, Mr. Speaker, not one plug nickel should go to any legal fees. This should have been settled out of court many, many years ago. So will the Prime Minister of Canada please stand on his feet and apologize to those 7,500 heroes and their families for dragging them through the courts in the first place?
The Honourable Minister of National Defence.
Well, Mr. Speaker, again, it's a bit rich coming from this member in particular and his party. We have not only, in addition to settling this particular lawsuit, which has amounted to hundreds of millions of dollars, I would point to the billions of dollars, Mr. Speaker, that have been added to the benefits for veterans, for their families, for members of the Canadian Armed Forces, through new programs, new equipment, new support at infrastructure across the country, Mr. Speaker, new protective equipment, all of which has been consistently opposed and voted against by that member and the hypocrisy of his party.
Order. The Honourable Member for Sackville, Eastern.
I'll tell you what we oppose, and New Democrats will oppose this every single time. Base closures on Veterans Affairs offices, $250 million cut from the DVA department. And now, Mr. Speaker, we oppose this government's action against the 1,000 disabled RCMP veterans that they are now dragging through the court once again. You know, Mr. Speaker, it's bad enough they drag disabled military veterans through the courts. Now they're dragging disabled RCMP veterans and their families through the courts. So will the government now do the right thing for these veterans and the taxpayer, stop these legal proceedings, sit down with the RCMP veterans, and negotiate a fair settlement so they can get on with their lives?
The Honourable President of the Treasury Board.
Of course, Mr. Speaker, we're a fair and reasonable government. If there's a way to avoid expensive legal proceedings, we would seek to do that. The matter is before the courts. I would ask the honourable member, though, to ponder if he is so in favour of veterans and disabled RCMP officers, maybe that he should disown the $21 billion carbon tax his party's intended.